अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल
ॐ उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्यां जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यमाद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तं विद्राविताशेषतमोगणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्यमायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महांस्तत्त्वमसीति बोधम् ममाद्यदेवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात् कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तम् अपाकरोतु प्रशान्तगम्भीरनिजस्वभावं प्रकृष्टकल्याणगुणप्रचारम् प्रबोधयन्तं श्रुतिवाक्यसारं प्रभाकरं तं रमणेशम् ईडे प्रचण्डमायाकृतकालहीनं प्रकृष्टसर्वात्मरसप्रदानं प्रतिष्ठितं तं निजरूपभावे प्रमोदवन्तं रमणेशमीडे प्रबोधचन्द्रोदयहेतुमेकं प्रभासमानं क्षितिभानुमन्तं प्रकृष्टभासा कमनीयकान्तिं प्रमेयशून्यं रमणेशमीडे प्रकृष्टकारुण्यचिदात्मशक्त्या प्रसारयन्तं प्रकृतेः प्रभावं प्रलोभदूरं परिपूर्णकामं प्रशस्तमेकं रमणेशमीडे प्रसह्यसङ्कल्पपरम्पराणां प्रभेदने चित्तविकारभावे प्रशोभितं तं परमप्रकाशं प्रदीपमेकं रमणेशमीडे त्वय्यरुणाचल सर्वं भूत्वा स्थित्वा प्रलीनमेतच्चित्रं हृद्यहमित्यात्मतया नृत्यसि भोः ते वदन्ति हृदयं नाम। So yesterday it was Vidhi and Mati, destiny and free will. That is what we saw yesterday. A few words about that again. Our body, mind, external life, anyone can say it is all programmed. It is simple common sense that you can understand that the body that you have got, with that only you can work. You have a good voice, you have the musical instinct, then you will sing. Like that, the place where you are born, that culture will come to you. And everything, your brain power, your sensory power, your bodily power, everything is programmed. So there, it is common sense to assume that we have no free will. You do not have free will. In fact, when you say will, then itself, it is not yours. In Lalita Sahasranamam it comes, Ichha Shakti Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti Swarupini. The will itself arises from the inner being. Will is free, not according to you. So, but freedom is your real nature. Mukti, freedom, is the nature of the self. So, if you say freedom, it is in the Atma, in the Swarupam. The moment you know your Swarupam, you know you are free. But physically, you cannot be free. Mentally, you cannot be free. There is a limited sense of free will, assuming that all the teachings are given. Everything, not only spiritual, worldly teaching also, medical, everything is based on that assumed free will. All advice is given thinking that everybody will follow. And everyone knows nobody will follow. Everyone is free not to follow. That we can see in the world. It is not their problem. That is the nature. So, videhe prayatnasya cha moola vastu. When you inquire to whom is destiny, to whom is free will, then you find the jiva bhava, the ego is I is there. And when you seek what this I is, then you find the I is not real, and what exists there is absolute consciousness, which is eternally free of the ego. There is atyanta bhava of jiva, ego, in the self. So there is no question of destiny, because to whom destiny? And there is no question of free will also. To whom free will? Somebody is telling that I have free will, I can by my own decision climb the hill. Saying this, the person is climbing the hill. And he says, I have free will to come down. He comes down. And what happens? Suddenly he wakes up. Then he recognizes that he was dreaming of his speech about free will and climbing the hill and coming down. So, who did all these things? Whose free will? Who climbed the hill? Who came down? That person itself is unreal. The question of free will and destiny is unreal. What exists? The waker alone is real. The dreamer, the dream, everything disappeared. So, vidhi naiva vidhihi nayatnaha. The knowledge makes you transcend the plane of the ego, and you land in a plane where there is neither destiny is not operating, free will also is not operating, because the ego itself becomes unreal. Only that pure consciousness remains. So this is the essence of that last verse. Here Bhagavan resolves the greatest riddle very easily, because the riddle itself does not exist. So he just dissolves it. So that is the last verse. Now it is the 20th verse. Sharbavai kāṇum taṉaiviṭṭut tāṉkaḍavuḻai kāṇal kāṇum maṉōmayamāṅ kāṭcitaṉaik kāṇumavaṉ taṉkaḍavuḻ kaṇḍāṇām taṉmudalait tāṉmudalpōyt taṉkaḍavuḻ அன்றி இலதால். The objects are all seen before us. And who is the seer? I. kāṇum taṉaiviṭṭu. Ignoring this I, tāṉkaḍavuḻai kāṇal. He wants to see Ishvara, God. Without seeing this I, without questioning this I, accepting the I want to see God, I want to realize Brahman, which Bhagavan says as a thief masquerading as a policeman and searching the thief. Because he himself is unreal. But he says he accepts his reality and searches for the police, thief. Like that is here, this Jiva Bhava is first accepted. And then this Jiva is searching for Brahman or Mukti or God or something. So taṉkaḍavuḻai kāṇal. When the person wants to see Kadavul, one person came before Bhagavan. He has read perhaps Ramakrishna Vivekananda story, where Vivekananda asked Ramakrishna whether he has seen God. And Ramakrishna said, as I am seeing you, more intimate than that, I have seen God. And those days, by reading these books, many used to come to Bhagavan. Once happened, one person came, Kanakama told, she was there at that time perhaps. So she told, one person asked Bhagavan, can you show me God? Like Ramakrishna revealed it to Vivekananda. And Kanakama told, we were all waiting what reply Bhagavan will give. Bhagavan will always answer only after a few minutes. So after a few minutes, Bhagavan asked, is the person who asks, is he Vivekananda? And he had no reply. He cannot claim that avaṉ-tāṇ. So that is once. Another time, one person, sometimes people used to become hysteric. He was trying to strangulate his own neck. Sitting before Bhagavan, he said, if you do not show me God, I will strangulate my own neck and die before you. Because you have heard stories like that. Ramakrishna took the sword and was about to cut his neck, then Kali appeared. All these stories create problem. So that he was trying to do. But Swami more than once has told such stories where Swami says the incidents will be like horror to us, but Bhagavan will be looking at it as if nothing is happening. He'll be looking at it. Nothing has happened. He is just looking, no reaction, nothing, just looking at it. Then because the person also will not die. He is just threatening. That is all. So he was trying to do that, and Bhagavan was looking at it. Then very calmly Bhagavan said, "Kadavuḻ darshanamalla vendapa." Said, we need not attain vision of God or anything. This I which says, I will attain God, I should realize, or I will strangulate. If that does not arise, that is the truth. Only that much is needed, nothing else. So, kāṇum taṉaiviṭṭu. See, it is shameful for us. A Ramana Maharshi is needed to tell us to ask, who am I? We should be ashamed about that. Something very, very close, intimate, the basic question. There itself there is error. Even that question we are not ready to ask originally. Answer, leave it. Even to ask a honest question, we are unable to do it. Who am I? For that, you see, somebody comes and tells you, ask who am I, and he becomes the universal teacher for telling you such a simple thing. And there are people who have found computer, who have found other planets, and people are finding many, many miraculous things that are all very complex things. These things are happening. But the simple question of what is my real nature, who am I? This simple question, for this, a sage is needed, because the sage is utterly simple. Maharshi is so simple, and he says, you need not see this and that, see what is the seer, who is inside this body and seeing. There is a story about Shankaracharya and an old man. And Shankaracharya was moving from village to village. So Bhagavan stayed in Tiruvannamalai, did not move much. But Shankaracharya moved from every place in India he covered. It's just like Ganga and Himalayas. Bhagavan is like Himalayas and Shankaracharya was like Ganga, flowing. Same jnanam only. Our Ganeshana used to say, Ganga is solid Arunachala and Arunachala is flowing Ganga. Ganga is flowing Arunachala and Arunachala is solid Ganga. Like that, you see. So, both are the Brahma Vidya, the knowledge is same. So, once when Shankaracharya was in a village, somewhere in Karnataka, that is how the story goes. You need a place, some person, so that the story can happen. The teaching is direct, you can just take the teaching. But if there is a background of story, we will listen. Because the most interesting thing that people become alert in the world is, if you say once upon a time, that very moment they will sit straight. Otherwise look here, there, everywhere. So, this old man, very learned person, very old. So, he comes to Shankaracharya. It is there in the Atma Tirtham. He says, I have studied all the scriptures. So much I have gone through. And yet, I have not found that supreme light, luminosity, effulgence by which everything else is seen, about which the Upanishads, Vedas are speaking. That Jyoti. What is that Jyoti? By knowing which one becomes complete, Purna. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. By his light everything else shines. What is that light? This is what the old man is asking that great Acharya Shankaracharya. And Shankaracharya, instead of answering him, he says, okay, you want to realize the self. Long back in mountain path, our Ganeshan has written an article where the entire article is about questioning. The article is about questioning because a question is a very real thing. Answer means dead. Answer, you know, and so mind goes to sleep. But question keeps you alert. The whole article was about question. So, the Upanishads are all about question. No answer Upanishad, only question Upanishad. Keno Upanishad, Prashno Upanishad. Kena means by what, by which, by whom. Prashna means question. The Upanishad itself is named as question. No answer. Uttara Upanishad is not there. So, yes, the old man wanted to know that Jyoti or the Atma. For that Atma, he said Jyoti. Certain traditions are there where they call God as Jyoti. In Tamil Nadu, Ramalinga Swamigal, their tradition is all Jyoti, about light. So this person is asking about Jyoti. So Shankaracharya is asking him, okay, we will have a dialogue, question answer like that. So, what is the light by which you are able to see the world? Kim Jyotihi Tava, Bhagavan has translated this to Tamil. Kim Jyotihi Tava, and he says, of course, Surya, sun. Bhanuman Ahanime. During daytime, it is Bhanuman, Surya. Then Acharya asks him, Ratrau, during night what? Moon is not enough. So, Pradipadikam, like a lamp, is needed. Electric bulb or light, some artificial light is needed. Syadevam, okay, let it be so. Ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyotihi akyahi me or te. In the absence of sun and moon and lamp, or to see them, with what light you see the sun, the splendor of sun, how do you see it? With the eyes, chakshu. Okay. Now, close your eyes. Yes. Are you able to see? Yes, very well. Sometimes meditation, you see much more. With open eyes, you see less. Tasya nimilanadi samayekyum. In dream, the buddhi is giving me picture and buddhi is the sakshi. So, buddhi is the witness inside which gives, which sees everything inside. So, with the eye of the buddhi, intellect, I am seeing. Dhiyaha adarshane kyum. You can say dhiyo darshane or dhiyaha adarshane. Something which is beyond the buddhi, which is sakshi for the buddhi, or which is sakshi for the absence of buddhi in deep sleep. What was there in deep sleep where you say, I did not see anything? He thought for a moment and said, Tatra aham. There only I am. Only I am. I exist. Bhagavan paramagam jyotihi. You are the supreme light. You are tattvamasi. You are that effulgence by which everything is illumined. You are the light by which everything is visible. You are the supreme light, Bhagavan Paramagam Jyotihi. And that old man said, Tadasmi Prabho. He said, Oh Lord, yes, I am the supreme light. Saying this, he merged within into deep samadhi. Stayed there in deep samadhi. So this is the story. Is this a story? No, it's a small Upanishad. But there is a question, answer, and the result is realization of the self, which is a light unto itself. When you realize the light, that which is light unto itself, swaprakasha, swayam prakasha, then you don't need any light from outside. This is what they say was the last teaching of Buddha. Before he died, his disciple Ananda went to him and said, Lord, you have not given me any teaching. Then Buddha said, you were with me so many years, still you are saying this? The mistake is you thought I am Buddha and I will give you. I am Siddhartha. I did so much to find the truth within me, the nirvana within me. So too you do, be a light unto yourself. This is the Upadesha. Atma Deepo Bhava. This is what they say in Sanskrit. What Buddha said, perhaps in Pali. Magadhi. That is the language in which he spoke. Magadhi. He said, Atma Deepo Bhava. Be a light unto yourself. So this is essentially your very nature is the light. You are the light. Swayam Prakasha. Gita, there is a beautiful shloka. Jyotisham apita jyotihi tamasaha paramuchyate jnanam nyeyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya vishtitam. It is the light of all lights. And it is something which the darkness cannot touch. It transcends darkness. Means what? Every light transcends darkness? No. It is not like that. This light is something which can illumine darkness also. All other light, if darkness is there, light cannot be. If light is there, darkness cannot be. But with this light only, you see darkness. As the Nayayika says, Neelam tamo dhavati. See, the darkness, the dark tama is running about here like that. That kind of usage is there for them. So, this is kāṇum taṇaiviṭṭu taṉkaḍavuḻai kāṇal. Recognizing the ego as real and seeing outside things, it is not real seeing. maṉōmayamāṅ kāṭci. You have some mental vision, that's all. You have some mental vision. maṇōmaya darshanam. You have sometimes you will have all kind of visions in dream. Many people will come to me and will say, Swami, I saw something in dream. Or sometimes they will say, you came to me. Many people recently also came. You came to me in dream and asked for this and that. Daytime I have not asked. They say, you come in dream. You came in dream and asked. And some people, they believe that actually I went into their dream and asked. And they ask why. And how will I be able to answer that? Sometimes the guidance can come through that. It is your own self, your own antaryami giving you some suggestion, some sign. That's all. So, maṉōmayamāṅ kāṭci, anything that you see in the mind, some pleasant side, it will be there and it will go. All the worlds that you achieve are in the mind. maṉōmayamāṅ kāṭci. This world is also maṉōmayam. And yoga bhumikas are all maṉōmayam only. But that doesn't mean it is worthless. People very easily come to conclusion, oh, it's all maṉōmayam. No, it is much, much higher things. They are all much higher things. See, the Rishis, they do tapas and gain so many lokas. Ke lokaha jitaha tvaya. To Nachiketas also Gautama asks, what world you have gained? Means with tapas, whatever they gain inside, that world is like a stable place. Next birth, they can go to that world. So these are all like this world only. This world was gained by us because in our last birth, we have created it with our mind. And now it has become solid thing. So this is like, so all maṉōmayam. Everything in the world, whatever is seen is all maṉōmayamāṅ kāṭci. kāṇum maṉōmayamāṅ kāṭci taṉmudalpōyt. Here it is ṭṛāṇmudalpōyt. The joining. See, it's taṉmudalpōyt taṉkaḍavuḻ அன்றி இலதால். Once the I, the primal thought is erased, what remains as the self is nothing other than God. When you know tāne tattvam idanai tāne kāṭuvai arunachala. When you know what this tāṇ, this I am is, then you know that the I am is God. Actually, you have to experience God means you have to experience God in I. That is why the Vedas say, prajñānam Brahma. Brahman, God, or the highest reality, is pure consciousness. Oh, pure consciousness means what? Next Mahavakya comes, aham brahmasmi. That prajñānam, that pure consciousness is shining forth in me as I. So if you want to know Brahman or God or Nirvana, you have to know Brahman or God as I. As the essential meaning of I, not outside. If you experience God outside, you close your eyes, you will not be able to see God. Such a splendorous sun, you close your eyes. No sun is powerful enough to enter inside you. So too you have some mind vision. It will go. In deep sleep, it will disappear. You attain some mental powers. In deep sleep, it will disappear. Intellectual powers, Alzheimer's, everything goes. All memory, everything is gone. So, all these are all in the limited adjunct, the upadhi. And the real thing is the only thing which you can never lose. The only thing which you can never lose, because you have not gained it. You yourself, you are an arriver here. You come and go, but that stands, that remains. That is the I. The essence of I, not the I thought, the essence of I, which is pure consciousness, which is prajnanam, that is God. Bhagavan says, the Upanishad says, that is Brahman, Tattvamasi. That is Ishvara, which something which you can never miss, which you can never lose. When you know that that is Ishvara, Nirvana, God, once you recognize, because you are not doing anything, you are not having a vision, you are not creating something, you are just recognizing what is eternally there. And eternally will be there. It is very, very simple, direct, immediate. Now you just see like you are seeing a necklace that you are wearing in your neck. Like that, oh, it is there. Like that, you see. That is why it is called pratyabhijna. That moment you pay attention to the I am, to the I, to the chit that is available there, and you see, oh, this is the Ishvara that I am seeking. You just think about it. What is there is Esha Sarveshvaraha, Esha Sarvajnaha, Esha Antaryami, Esha Yonihi, Prabhavapyayohi Bhutanam, Sarvasya Prabhavapyayohi Bhutanam. This is Ishvara. This is the source for everything. See what I am carrying in me as my I am. This is the I am Ramana Maharshi. This is Buddha. This is Krishna. This is Rama. This is Shiva. I mistook it for some person. Some name I gave it to it, and I thought that name is represented here, as Namadeva says in one of his abhang, where he says Viṭṭhala, Panduranga Viṭṭhala, that is the way that they worship Viṭṭhala. All these days I thought the I within me is me. Now by Guru's grace I know that the I within me is you. It is not me. And Bhagavan also many places said, the I within me is Arunachala. It is not someone, that Venkatraman, that name, all those things is left out. And when he wrote Arunachala Ramana, he gave that name to Arunachala. And Arunachala also not that hill. Tattvamasi Arunapurulam, Achalat Artham Ghanamad Aham. Achala means that prajnana ganam, that pure consciousness. That Chaitanya is Arunachala. Because if it is outer Arunachala, you close your eyes, you will forget. But the real Arunachala is your own inner self, which you can never miss. If outer place is Arunachala, simply by going to Tiruvannamalai, you will get liberated. There is a great population of liberated people there now. We can say, in the Puranic way, we can say, by staying in Arunachala, one attains without diksha, everything. But the blessing will be there, the grace will be there. See, the question is, will not mukti come? Mukti is already given to you. There are statements in the Puranas where they say by barely taking birth in Bharatavarsha, the person gets liberated. And we say the very earth is a divine thing. Remaining here, you are liberated. That is also true. And some in talks with Ramana Maharshi, Bhagavan in one place says, many places Bhagavan said, Arunachala is a place where you will get liberated. And somebody asked Bhagavan, how is it possible? It is Supreme Court order. Said, Shiva has told. Shiva has told. Then in another place Bhagavan says, it all for the believing person that is given. For another side person, when someone asked Bhagavan about this, Bhagavan said, that is how every Tirtha Kshetra is being spoken about. Then you know about Kashi also, they say by dying in Kashi you get liberated. By seeing Chidambara you get liberated. By taking birth in Tiruvarur you get liberated. By just remembering Arunachala you get liberated. And then Bhagavan said, you have to know the real meaning of death, dying. You have to know the real meaning of darshan. You have to know the real meaning of remembering. You have to know the real meaning of birth. Once you know this, what is the real birth? What is real death? What is remembrance of Arunachala? If you know it, then you know the liberation is guaranteed. So you know the inner Arunachala, then you have arrived in Tiruvannamalai. There is a story about Kabir where they say Kashi is a Avimukta Kshetra. You go there, whoever dies there, they will be liberated. And I don't remember that place where Kabir dropped his body, near Kashi, where they say whoever dies there, they will go to hell or something. I don't know where such a place can be there. I don't know. That is the story. Kabir deliberately went there to die. To disprove that. Because you should have that kind of faith that you have taken Ramanama, you have attained the realization, means you are liberated here, now. Not by staying in some place, not by dying in some place. Wherever you are, yastra vishwam bhavatyekanidam, any place, any country, anywhere you go, you should have that confidence. With that confidence, you get liberated not by staying in this place or that place, this temple or that temple, nothing. So, the purpose of Jnana Vicharam is that. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is to get that deep conviction that the self is God. What is there in me is the Supreme. Yashayam Purushe, Yashasa Vaditye, Sayekaha. The Upanishad says, who is there in me, this Purusha, and who is there in that Sun? It is both are one. It is Ishvara, it is Brahman. Such conviction has to come, such freedom has to come inside. One should not be played about by all these nonsense of outer beliefs and all these things. The teaching, okay, nursery class, kindergarten teaching is also there, but the Upanishad alone is pramana, authority. And the Upanishad says, tamevaikam janatha atmanam. Know the Atman alone. Anyavacho vimunjada. Leave aside everything else. Don't bother about everything. Amrita Sesha Seduhu. Here you have crossed the ocean of mortality. This is the direct road, bridge to immortality. This knowledge. You know this knowledge, unconditionally you be free. Not that you know this knowledge and have something else also, then you will be free. No. If you have this knowledge, Krishna says, even if you fight in a battle and kill everybody, you are a Jivan Mukta. So much of incorruptibility is there in that knowledge. So much of asangata is there in that knowledge. Purity is there in the self. So you recognize it. kāṇum taṇaiviṭṭut taṉkaḍavuḻai kāṇal kāṇum maṉōmayamāṅ kāṭci. Bhagavan says, whatever you see outside, whatever you carry in the mind, everything is mere maṉōmayam. It will all come and go. Oh, splendorous light I saw. Okay. Once long back, perhaps 25, 26 years back, I will be staying in one cottage. It's a cottage of a devotee. Now it is cottage of Ramana Ashram, Prem Sangh Guest House, near Osborne compound, opposite to it. So I will be staying with Nataraj, one of devotees of Bhagavan. Generally I will come and stay there. So there, before that, one Westerner, somebody, I think I gave a talk at that time, 93 or so I gave a talk in ashram, 94 I think. 94 I gave a talk in Ramana ashram. 94 or 95, somewhere before 96, that I remember. So that time, he spoke something and he said, I had a vision of Shiva. Shiva appeared before me, I saw Shiva. And I was really taken aback. I said, oh, this person these people have done so much austerity, so much tapasya. And he says he has attained Shiva Darshanam. So after that I will be sitting inside the room and doing japa, and I heard some disturbing noise outside. This he told me from Ramana Ashram. I don't remember who that person is now. Perhaps he has not come after that to Trivandrum, I don't know. So after this, I stood up. When I heard some noise, I stood up from my room and looked through the window. There I saw this person doing something very, very petty. Making fun of a very poor man, showing him some 5 rupee note, and he runs behind him. He is already a lame person. And showing him like this, and he runs behind him, not giving him, making fun of him. I was shocked. He says, I had Shiva Darshanam, and he is just doing something very cruel. Then I understood what Bhagavan said. When somebody asked Bhagavan, suppose if Arunachaleshwara comes before you, what will you ask? Bhagavan said, don't play with me all these visions. In the darshanam kudukra velayala engata vechikadenu. You will appear and disappear. So your real nature is that which will not appear and disappear. You are the light behind which will never appear and disappear. It is Swayam Prakashavastu. So kāṇum maṉōmayamāṅ kāṭcitaṉaik kāṇumavaṉ taṉkaḍavuḻ kaṇḍāṇān. Taṉmudalpōyt, when the ego disappears, this I, this jiva bhava, itself is found out as unreal. The I thought, because it is not there in the deep sleep. In the sushupti, it is not there. You wake up from sleep, the mind comes out, the I thought comes out, it just blossoms, then you see the world, everything. First, jivam kalpayate purvam tato bhavan prithagvidhan. The jiva bhava arises, I thought arises, then everything arises. So the I thought itself is something spurious. Correct? The usage comes. So it comes like that. It is not real. Then everything comes. So, taṉmudalpōyt, kāṇum, taṉmudalpōyt, tāṇkaḍavuḻ அன்றி இலதால். When the ego is searched for, when the I thought is sought after, what is this I? Who am I? What is this I? When you seek, when you pay attention inwardly to the I, and you find that the I thought vanishes in the heart space, Chidakasha. Then what remains there? What remains as the self is nothing other than God. What remains is Ishvara. Ritambhara tatra prajna. There it is only ritam, it is the satyam, it is the truth shines forth. Taṉmudalai taṉai kāṇum avaṉ-tāṉ kaḍavuḻ kaṇḍāṇām. One who sees the pure awareness, that is the essence of one's I, he alone has really seen God. One who has seen taṉmudalait, the import, the implied essence of what this I is meant. What this I is. Only he has seen avaṉ-tāṉ kaḍavuḻ kaṇḍāṇām. So this is the teaching. Yet chakshusha na pashyati. Yena chakshumshi pashyati. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Nedam yadidam upasate. Yet chakshusha na pashyati. That which cannot be seen through the eyes. Yena chakshumshi pashyati. By which the eyes are seeing. That is Brahman. Nedam yadidam upasate. These things that you outwardly hold, meditate upon, these are not real. The real thing is something which is within, by which the eyes are seeing, not the seen. By which the ears are hearing, not that which is heard. By which the nose is smelling, not what is smelt. By which the skin is feeling the touch, not what is touched. Nedam yadidam upasate. So this is what? This is Brahma. And that I, you know, by removing all the limitations of the upadhi. The body is not me, the mind is not me, the ego is not me. Manobuddhi ahankara chittaninaham nacha shrotra jikhve nacha ಘ್ರಾಣ netre nacha vyoma bhumirna tejo navayuh chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. You remove all that, and what remains is pure Shivam, pure auspiciousness. Taṉai உபாதி விட்டு ஓர்வது தான் ஈசன் தன்னை உணர்வதாம் உந்தீபர தானாய் ஒளிர்வதால் உந்தீபர. To recognize one's real nature after removing all the upadhis, adjuncts, limitations. That is true knowledge, Ishvara Darshana. So this is the seeing of the drik. There is a work, Drik Drishya Viveka. Many ascribe it to Shankaracharya, and certain people they say it is Vidyaranya. Of course, the work is very good, which says Rupam Drishyam. The forms that you see is Drishyam. Lochanam Drik, with the eyes you see them. Tad Drishyam, the eyes are also Drishyam, seen. Driktumanasam, we have already said this. The mind is the seer. Tad Drishyam. Rupam Drishyam, Lochanam Drik, Tad Drishyam, Driktumanasam, Drishyadhihi. The buddhi is the seer. Virtaya sakshi. The thoughts are the drishya, and the buddhi is the seer. Drigeva natu drishyate. The ultimate seer cannot be seen. He is pure experience. So, There is a very beautiful verse here. It comes in Guru Vachaka Kovai. Because you go on seeing this, that, and then you close your eyes and see many things. Once Ramakrishna Swami wanted to do tapas. Ramakrishna Swami was one of Bhagavan's old devotees. He came with Kunju Swami, both belonged to Palakkad. So he went to Virupaksha cave and was doing tapas there, meditation. And one day he came, Bhagavan, you know what happened yesterday? I was meditating there and I had the vision of Chidambaram, Thillai. And I saw the town of Chidambaram, and then I saw the temple, then I entered, all these were Virupaksha cave. I entered the temple and I saw that mandapam where Nadaraja is dancing, and suddenly I saw the cloth, that screen there got fire. And I woke up from meditation. And today newspaper they have put that there was a fire in Chidambaram. Because he was thrilled that he could see from such a distance. The same story happened in Guhai Namah Shivaya's story. There the Guru was happy. Oh, the Shishya's meditation has progressed. But when Ramakrishna Swami reported this to Bhagavan, Bhagavan said, oh, idha pathana, adha pathana. Chidambaram pathana, nerpu pettaradu pathana. Idhukku dhaan poradha. He said, oh, for this you meditate. You went all the way to Virupaksha cave to have this television. From distance you want to see Chidambaram and all this fire and all these things. This is the purpose of meditation? Bhagavan asked. So, here this song is Adanai Nokkade. Idanai Nokkade. Yadanayum Nokkadirupin Madan Sher Iruppu Nokkale Yellayil Chidakasha Parappu Nokkam Purulavai. The song is Adanai Nokkade, Idanai Nokkade. Look not at that, look not at this. You look at the world or close your eyes to see many things. So Adanai Nokkade, Idanai Nokkade, Yadanayum Nokkadirupin. Not looking at anything, not paying attention at anything. Madan Sher Iruppu Nokkale, mere Iruppu Nok. The very existence is seeing. The very existence is effulgence. See, in a dark room you sit, you are aware of your own existence as I am. That is the seer. That is the seeing. That is the seen. So, Iruppu Nokkale, Yellayil Chidagasha Parappu Nokkam Purulavai. Then you will be that infinity, that Chidakasha, that space of pure consciousness, the boundless reality. Yellayil Chidakasha Parappu Nokkam Purul. That truth, if you cease looking at anything, but stay still in your own beingness, boundless space of awareness will be thy being. It will be your self. It will be your nature. So this is Muruganar Guru Vachaka Kovai. Now Muruga Mama has come with something. Right? Adhyar cannot do this. Ullakkan nokkidum arivu uri. Ullakkan nokkum arivu uri. Ullattai nokka Arulvaye. Tirpugal. This is Tirpugal. Ullakkan nokkum arivu uri. By inward looking, Tiruvachakam, there is a song which says, Oyamal ulhuvar ullolirum ullanai. Constant innering. This is the word which I have coined from this. Oyamal ulhuvar, constantly pushing the mind inward to the source, to the heart. Oyamal ulhuvar Ullolirum, he shines forth within Ullan, the existence, the reality. So here he says, by that kind of practice of antarmukhata, Ullakkan nokkum arivu uri. That has to come from within like a spring, knowledge is three type. The sea or ocean, in Tamil they say it is munnir. It contains three waters. Aatru neer, Utru neer, Mazhai neer. From rain also water comes. From river goes and fills there. And then the spring also is there. From within, Utru neer, it also comes. Like that, whatever comes from this lecture, satsanga, it is like Mazhai. You will not get it always. Whenever you get, you take the water, use it. And Atrinir is like Shastra, it is there. You have to go and take scriptural knowledge. And Ut is, it has to come from within you. It has to come from your own heart. It is Ut, it is spring. So, this is that Uri, that knowledge has to come like a spring from within you. The inner fountain head has to open. And the water has jump out. Ullakkan nokkum arivu uri, ullattai nokka arulvaye. The knowledge, the power to look within has to awaken within, and by that power I have to look at the heart. I have to look at the inner awareness. So, ullakkan nokkum arivu uri, ullattai nokka arulvaye. You pour forth, bestow on me that arul, that grace, because the whole entire spiritual life is based on grace. The moment you know, you have faith in grace, you become liberated. See, ultimately, spiritual life is very secret. The greatest secret in spiritual life is actually faith. And faith also, you cannot create. This fellow, is the greatest obstacle for faith. So all this rationalization, intellectualization, thinking is to convince this fellow that he has to keep quiet. All the yukti is being used to convince him that the truth is beyond him. Then buddhischana vicheshtate tamahuf paramam gatim. Then the Buddhi stops its cheshta. Otherwise it is very, very arrogant. It thinks that this little urlakiழங்கு, potato, it thinks that it can know everything in the universe. In our school, when I did like this, I was reminded that there was a boy, whatever question the teacher asks, he will say like this. And if the teacher says, stand up and tell, he cannot tell. Every time, every question he will put like this, and it just says, nothing will come. Like that, the brain is so arrogant, it thinks that it can know everything, but when it tries to dip itself, sink into the unfathomable, as the Buddha says, it errs. It makes mistake. It cannot answer. So, as Paul Brendan says, that was one of the greatest revelation that he had in Bhagavan's presence. Because he wanted to ask question. And when he entered Bhagavan's presence, all questions, he says, they just melted away like snow before sun. And the person who brought him, he was a little bit Westerner, Englishman devotee. Such people were there because the British India, many people, they find some Englishman, they will be looking at him. So this person wanted to bring that Englishman to Bhagavan's presence, and he thought he will ask question, Bhagavan will answer. Nothing happened. He could not ask question in Bhagavan's presence. Then that person asked him, why you need not ask? Then he says, now I find that brain is a trap. In this presence I find that intellect creates its own problems and becomes miserable by trying to solve them. So I have left it in the shore and I am in the mid-ocean of stillness. Something like that only he says. The intellect, all this yukti is left there. And now I have traveled to a plane where the intellect cannot touch. That kind of depth the intelligence has reached. So that is Arul, grace. When you see, when the right time for liberation comes, the inner one, the Antaryami, when he ready to reveal himself, before the sunrise, the most beautiful time, that Brahma Muhurta, after that, you look at the horizon, the eastern side, you see the entire Chakravala is golden color. Like that, before self-realization comes a state called bhavana. And in that state, you have immense faith. It is not mental. Before the inner splendor is uncovered, a little bit of rays enter into the mind, then you just breathe sacred air. Your very breath is holy because you know that you are in safe hands. So much of faith arises in you. So much of faith arises in you. Your mind becomes like the mind of a child. You are ready to believe. It is actually not belief, it is faith. And we call it Shraddha. And the Shraddha is the sure sign that Atma has blessed you. The Atma has unrevealed that Arul Uru, grace. So that is the truth. So, Arulvaye, as Arunagirinathara says, Arulvaye. So there is a poem here. Dear, see not the seen. Learn to see the seeing. Through innering, enter the stream of seeing. The path of light behind the eyes, the Devayana, effulgent path. The light with which the senses are made. And swim in the waters of effulgence back to the inner sun. Glide back to the source, the seer, and abide there. That is the blessed terminus of the inner path. There alone is auspiciousness, peace, and immortality. This is the song. So, we have safely finished without entering the second song. So, verse again it is 20. 21 remains to be touched tomorrow. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, अरुणाचल शिव यतो ममात्मा भवसि त्वमेव ततो न वाच्यं मम किञ्चिदस्ति यथा तवेष्टं कुरु मां तथैव त्वाम् आत्मनाथं रमणं भजामि।